Hello and welcome to your week. This is going to be your weekly astrology and your reading of Oracle and Tarot for the collective. I hope that you're doing well, and if you're new here, my name is Patricia Arraras, and I hope that you find something here when we talk about astrology and spiritual awakening and just raising our vibration and all of the things. I really do. We are a community here, no judgment, and we welcome you all. So let's talk about this week. We have today on the 17th, Mars is moving to the sign of Virgo after being in a long in and out game with Leo and Cancer, and it's now moving to Virgo, and this is going to be for a month. And what this is going to do is bring, Mars is the planet of action and war as well. And it's going to bring this outlook that wants you to analyze and wants you to strategize. And the only thing that I would say that maybe it's a little bit on the negative side is that we could tend to be maybe a little bit critical with ourselves because Mars wants action, Virgo wants perfection, and we all know that that is, it's a concept that is very individual. There's no such thing. So, that might bring a little bit of that personal critic out. So you may want to be really compassionate with yourself in this energy and not push yourself too hard. Now we have the sun moving from the I think, which is the sign of Gemini, to the sign of I feel, which is Cancer. And with the sun moving into Cancer late night on the 20th, we also have the summer solstice, and this is considered a very sacred day. It's the day that has, in the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, is the longest day, and it is the day which has more light. So it has a spiritual significance of connecting to our own divinity and our own light. So we also have some squares happening with Jupiter in Cancer and Neptune in Aries, and that can bring a lot of this inflated sort of reality and kind of like bringing your expectations to something that is unreal. So knowing that you can try to navigate that, because it could cause, not that it could cause, but it could bring that sort of energy where we are out of touch. And really what it calls for is for us to be more grounded. Okay, so let's see what we have for the themes this week from the 17th through the 22nd. I'm going to take it to Sunday. Let's see what we have. Check the cosmic energy for this week, where you can find your horoscopes. I posted them in Spanish, but you could go ahead and translate that and share them in your stories. Tag me. I would love to see that from you. Check it out. We have divine intervention. And what do we have there? The sun. A lot of light. Something is happening for us where it's bringing this highlighting to something very important in our lives so that we can observe. There is some sort of transition happening. It could be that you're either traveling, you're moving, you're in between jobs, you are in an in-between place in a relationship. There is some sort of unforeseeable life change. And when this card shows up, it really calls for a strong sense of faith. It's the only way to really manage transitions in our lives is through a sense of faith that everything will be all right, that good things are always around the corner, that miracles happen every single day. And this sort of affirmation, even if it feels delusional or unreal because we don't feel it in the moment, it's really important for us, because that rewires the way that we think and the way that we look at the world. And as we believe, we will create. So let's keep going. Let's see what other messages we have. I welcome you all. Thank you for the hearts. I love seeing you. I haven't done one of these lives in a very long time, but I am so grateful for you guys and just for everything that's been going on lately. And okay, so we're being called to stillness. We are being called to meditate. This is a really important week to connect with our inner light. That summer solstice is it's such a day to bring light to our sense of faith and spirituality. We are being called to have moments of isolation, not to remove ourselves from everyone or the world, but this is really calling for us to be in a place where we can be in stillness or meditation or pray, being on our own. Why? Because Spirit wants us to be quiet. It wants us to be, still, so that we could listen, so that we could welcome in some sort of information or intuitive download. Okay. Some new information is trying to come in, answers that you've been asking and praying for. Okay. Let's see what else we get. These are the themes. I always like pulling themes first and then putting the story together with the tarot cards. Oh, the death of the ego. Yes, this is surrender. This is letting go of control. This is understanding and having acceptance that we have control over so little. The only thing we could really control is how we manage ourselves, our emotions, and what we do, our actions, how we speak, and how we think. Our own sense of congruence, where everything is just making sense, because what we're thinking and what we're feeling goes together. So I feel like there could be, there are very significant things happening in the world, a lot of divide and just senseless war, and a lot of this is wanting to keep us in a place of fear. And I really invite you to bring in more joy, more light, more kindness into your own experience, because as individuals, as we do this inner work, it reflects in the outer world. So many people are so disconnected from their spirit. They're in their phones 24/7, and this is not saying that that's something bad. There's no judgment. It's just there is a lot of this wanting the instant reward, having information at your fingertips, but so much misinformation as well. And so much of it is making sensitive souls and empathic people scared. But we have to believe that the good ones are so many more. And we can overcome anything. But it's really important that we're being called to do this work so that we can, in turn, bring this light out to the world, okay? Just really that focus, intention, and that stillness, and that meditation, and the prayer, and the connection to our own light, and to our faith, and to God is it's really what is going to allow us to keep coming together. Okay? So many times we think that something is going on and it's so far and it has nothing to do with us, but it really does. We are all connected and energy is real. Okay, so to finish, we have the vulnerability card. This is speaking of expressing ourselves and trusting that we are in a safe space to be understood. There's so much fragility and so many people not wanting to open up and kind of like protecting and putting walls up on their hearts. And we have the Father Jesus card coming through, and this talks about unconditional love and coming together and the meaning of true love. And also it's a reminder of faith. So last card in the themes is Archangel Uriel, and we have this owl here. I don't know, that might be significant for some of you. This talks about wisdom and focused direction. Okay, so I feel like these transitions that this is talking about, this divine intervention with unforeseeable life events, is calling for that sense of faith through it, for us to surrender and let go of what we can't control, and really to focus our intention towards the things that are truly important, and do so with wisdom of what we've learned, wisdom of how we have grown through experience. Okay, now let's see what we have in the tarot for this week. We have the Page of Pentacles. So this may be bringing news, or there could be a focus here on the financial and practical matters. This is saying that you could be taking steps here towards a project or something that you have been wanting to do in the material sense, career, but it's in the beginning stages. Okay, it's a page, so there's something here that is taking a beginning. It could be that with the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck, which is action and things moving and gaining momentum, communication to news, messages, that there could be some good news here about finances. It could be about a young person, your maybe children, Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus could be here, or maybe a fire sign. But this is talking about baby steps, taking practical matters into your own hands, making plans, and taking the first steps on a project or a financial matter, or in a job, or maybe in the purchasing of a home or a car, something that has to do with finances and transactions. Okay, now let's see what else we got here. We get the Wheel of Fortune. So this is definitely something destined, and we were speaking about that divine intervention. And when we see the Wheel of Fortune in our readings, it talks about transitions, moments of change. But the changes are very much asking for us to release control, relinquish, the trying to manage it. Because this is something that is leading us towards destined and fated events in our lives. Things that are already written. And with this also, it's like, let Jesus take the wheel. Literally, Jesus came out in this reading. So that's what I'm hearing. Okay. Now, at the bottom of the deck, we have another page, the Page of Cups. And this talks more about the emotional aspect of things. There could be surprising events. Maybe in the emotional in the emotional area here in love, or there could be invitations to reunite, messages of love, something like that. It's the Knight of Cups. It's not a page, actually. It's the Knight. But it's also saying that where we're headed, it could be a really pleasant surprise. It has to do with something that we've been wishing for. And we've been really, it's our heart's desire, okay? Let's see what else for this week. The Lovers. So this is Gemini energy, and we are in the final, in the final loop, in the last degrees of Gemini, to say goodbye to this this season. And with this, and I'm sorry because I have a lot that is wanting to come through for me, I feel like there is a shift or a change in a very meaningful relationship. Okay, it could happen suddenly. We have the Death card at the bottom, so something is definitely transforming here. It's transforming, it's changing the way that it looks, that it is, or maybe it's coming to an end. Okay, the card of the Death, it's not the physical death, it's that transition that leads us to something new. Okay, so it could be changing its form. It's a change that happens at a soul level, okay? So something is changing here in a very close relationship, or some of you could be meeting somebody new that is very significant, and you've kind of been, in a sense, waiting for this or wanting this to happen. And for those of you where this is resonating more in the side that something needs to change in the relationship, there is definitely news on that this week. We're gonna have to take matters into our own hands, but also allow for the universe to do its work and not deny what is coming up for us, okay? Five of Cups is a card of sadness and mourning and letting go. So there could be a lot of you that are going through sadness and periods of deception where you feel that you had such high expectations for something in your life. You put so much love and you had such a vision and an illusion about it, and it's really causing this sense of loss, this sense of it just did not work out the way that I would have wanted it to. And the Ten of Cups is at the bottom, which makes me feel like there is hope here. All is not lost. This could be speaking about something that really brought you a lot of happiness at one point in your life. And you're being asked to shift the focus on this, because the card of the Five of Cups is a card that tells you you're focusing on what went wrong, on everything that has been just difficult. You're focusing yourself on the spilled cups, and it really wants you to focus on what is there that can be salvaged, what is there that can be truly appreciated, what are the blessings in this, what can we be grateful for, what is the silver lining here, okay? What is there to be gained from this, even though it feels like a heart-wrenching loss? Let's get one more. All hope is not lost. You get the card of the Star. And again, I was saying there is something that we've been wishing for, really longing and hoping for. And this could be a great week to see that materializing. Okay, the Star card is also a card of recovery, healing, and definitely all is not lost. Don't lose faith. Don't lose hope. Keep facing that true north. Keep wishing on that star. Okay, and at the bottom here you have the Temperance card, which is saying you've had a lot of patience through this, and definitely your angels are overseeing all of this changes, decisions, and the things that you feel that are so out of your control. Angels are present with you. They're saying you've been patient, you've been just holding out for this, you've been waiting. Look at this, the Four of Cups. So the Four and the Five of Cups. And the Four of Cups is also that card of missing the big picture, okay? Because we're so focused on lack, on what's lacking, on what we've been waiting for, on the insatisfaction. And you're really missing the big opportunity, the opportunity to connect, to love again. And you say, well, Patricia, how do I connect to that love? What is the missing opportunity? What am I not seeing here? And this is why Spirit is calling you to have those moments of stillness and have those moments to meditate and to pray and to connect to your own light and what you want to bring to the light, because through that, through those moments where you dedicate time to do that inner work and to connect, is where you will find the biggest answers to that question. And I am only here to be, the channel for this message, but also to say, you can do this. We can connect and we can bring ourselves back to love every single day, but it has to be a conscious choice. It really does. And, that love is there. We just have to nurture it. We just have to keep on going and keep that faith alive and know that there's always good things in the chaos as well. Now let's pick out an oracle card before we go and see what the guidance is. A little bit of extra guidance. And know that if you want any sort of reading that is more personal, because you're used to seeing what I put out on the page and the content and the readings and everything, and you can resonate with the messages that I'm putting out, but when you get a personal reading, it's such a different vibe. We really look at every single thing that is going on with you, and the messages are just personal. They're so geared to you, your situation, to find those solutions, to find the way to understand the cycles of your life and to understand the connection that you have to the divine every single day. We get the card of it is what it is. Oh my God, this reminds me so much of my best friend, and she would say this all the time, and I'm like, yeah, it is what it is until it's not. So let's see what this card has to say to us. Let's read a little bit on the interpretation of this card, but it has a path. As you can see, it has a path with stars on it and a big door that looks like a portal here. So You know, the door is not open, but the door has a big cross on it. And I feel like that is very reminiscent of this card of divine intervention. You know, there are unforeseeable life changes. It is what it is until it's not. It is what it is until we decide to consciously do something about it. It is what it is until the universe says that can continue the way that it's going. Okay? So this is the number 6 card. And it says that the concept is radical acceptance. And that's where we find peace, you guys, when we accept all things as they are. Everything that happens for a reason. Doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. And this is really involving yourself in your own life, admitting the conditions that you're in at the moment, and observing what the circumstances are and accepting them as they are. Now, also, this is recognizing and letting go of resistance. Are you going to walk through that door? Would you have walked through that door if certain things didn't happen in your life that it took you there, that kind of like pushed you there a little bit and took you out of your comfort zone? It's that resistance and that denial sometimes that we get so stuck in. You know, we want to like sink our heels, and we don't want to move, we don't want to change, we don't want things to be different sometimes. And there's other times when we are screaming that yes, we want this change, this can't continue this way. And when you finally get there, it's a beautiful thing to just allow. Okay, so this says, what happens when you look at the world? You could see it for what it is, or you could see it for what you believe that it is. A door that closes is an invitation for a window to open. But also, this is saying that what would happen if there would be another door that would really be the one that is leading you to your destiny, where you could let go of attachments and you could really get what you have desired. You would be so surprised to discover the amount of energy that you have to really confront very important things in your life. And it says that once that you have liberated yourself from that overwhelm and that carrying this huge desire, you will have so much access to what's really beneficial for you and beneficial for all. You can try, and it says, hang on, it's in Spanish, so I'm translating as I go. You can try to really accept things as they are right now and direct your attention to other things while you see the path opening up for you. You can accept life as it is. And when you stop forcing, and when you stop complaining or just fighting against it, instead of that, you really fight for what you wish for. More things will be at your disposal. More things will be at your disposal. Okay? Now, this is just telling you to release the attachment to the way that the way that you think that things should be. And Allow more light into your life, more joy. Allow yourself to welcome new open doors, and this will change your life. The way that you see your life and the way that you believe that it is could be totally different things, but once those two are on the same page, miracles happen. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. Let me know in the comments below. I love you all so much. I send you fearless light and love. Thank you for your continued and so valued support. I appreciate you all. I love doing this work with you. Send you fearless light and love. Infinite love, you guys. Take care. See you soon.